Welcome to Libby, Montana. At one time, Libby was a big logging and mining community and the beacon of prosperity for Lincoln County. Stricter environmental controls have all but killed these industries today. But Libby has much more to offer than just its natural resources. Nestled in the Cabinet Mountains, the area offers hiking, backpacking, waterfalls, majestic views, and adventurous hiking trails. Chiseling its way through town, the Kootenai River offers anglers the chance to catch salmon and rainbow trout while also being a great opportunity for rafting, kayaking, and tubing. It would seem that Libby has it all, and it does, except a willingness to embrace change and newcomers.
We don't like change.
It's just change, and people aren't comfortable with change.
We like it the way that it is.
People are naturally reluctant to change. It doesn't matter what it is.
There are still groups of people that want to pigeonhole us, put us in a category of being totally against moving forward.
My name's Jesse Kairos. I graduated from Libby High School in 1990. I spent the last 20 years living in Southern California, more specifically the Temecula area. When I got to Temecula in 1997, there was roughly 50,000 people. When I moved in 2016, there was roughly 400,000 people in the area. So with the influx of people and the cost of living getting so high, I decided to pack up my bags and come back home to Libby, Montana. There was one problem with my little plan. I had no job. I hadn't been home in 20 years. I would be basically an outsider. My only plan was to get the hell out of Southern California. I was curious to get back home to Libby to see how much things have changed. It seems that Libby is now the city of eagles. And Bigfoot. We're gonna go check out the bowling alley where I used to work at when I was much younger. It appears that my former place of employment is now an indoor storage facility. No more rolling thunder. Here we are at the old drive-in, or what's left of it. We used to come here all the time in the summer when we were teenagers. Had a lot of good times. However, I did hear that the rate of high school pregnancies did drop after they closed it. So maybe that's a good thing. If you look over my shoulder, that's what's left of the old lumber mill. At one point, it employed close to 2,000 people. The last 200 employees were let go in 2002. This is the mouth of what used to be the old Asarco mine. It used to employ 300 plus workers. It shut down in 2012. Oh, and FYI, this isn't the actual mine. I couldn't get access. I apologize. Upon my arrival back to Libby, I stopped at a red light and I saw this. A lot of things have changed over the last 20 years in Libby. However, one thing has not. The one thing that hasn't changed is the mindset that change, tourists, and newcomers are bad. I wanted to find out why this hasn't changed, so I picked up my trusty camera to find out why.
My name and occupation is Tim Rooney. I'm a private business owner. I think I like most about Libby is the lack of traffic. I hate traffic, but I can go fishing out my back door for the most part. I can go hiking just about anywhere in the national forest that that I can get to. I can go hunting during hunting season. I can enjoy the 4 seasons.
My name is Joseph E. Johnston. I'm retired. During my working years, I was an accountant, a public accountant. And I worked a number of years as an employment consultant for people with disabilities. And I volunteer a lot of hours at the American Legion. What I like most about Libby, now that I'm older, is it's a small community, not a lot of people. You can go to the grocery store in a matter of minutes, not an issue with parking. It's just the small town atmosphere.
My name is Cora Gilmore, and I am the owner of the Shed Restaurant and a broker with Keller Williams. During the last year and a half, with all of the craziness going on in the world, there's been a lot of times that we've been able to walk outside with our dogs and our kids, and right out my back door I look at the Cabinet Mountains, I look at the Kootenai River, and it kind of brings back that gratitude of, this is a huge plus of why we live in this small town and where we are.
My name is Rick Tuin. I own the Pastime. We take care of each other around here. So yesterday we did a benefit that some people didn't even know the people, but they came in and took care of them and donated to their cause. And we just always take care of each other as far as different events, and if people need money, we're here to do fundraisers.
My name is Byron Sanderson. I have many occupations. I'm a professional land surveyor. I own a movie theater, and I also own a storage unit facility. For the majority of my life, I have lived in Libby. I have a few exceptions where I've lived in other locations around the country, but so roughly 49 years. Why would anyone want to visit Libby? The obvious answer is the beauty, the recreation opportunities. If you're just visiting, as so many people have said, and I've actually heard you say it, Jess, Libby is Glacier Park without the people, right? So if you're into hiking opportunities, fishing, and just having those experiences away from large groups of people, Libby's your place to come. It's one of the greatest places on the earth, and the nicest spot in the northwest part of Montana.
My name is Brent Teske. I'm the City of Libby Mayor and the Lincoln County Emergency Agency Coordinator. I've lived here for 55 years, all my life. So people come to Libby for a number of reasons. They come here to visit friends, family, recreate. We've got some of the most beautiful sites in the state with the Cabinet Wilderness and Yak Mountain Wilderness. There's a number of events year-round that folks come here to visit and partake in. The Igniters Car Show is a big one in August. The Liberty on Parade, which is Libby's 4th of July celebration. Also the Highland Games.
Why would anyone want to visit Libby? Probably the winter activities, the summer activities, the river for fishing. The least thing I like about Libby is the lack of good employment for high school and high school graduates that don't choose to go on to college. They don't have a lot of options around Libby.
The younger folks, they're not wanting to live here so much because of the lack of job opportunities. Our graduating seniors at our high school, each year they take off for their education, and most of them don't come back.
There's not a lot of industry here.
My name is Mike Holcomb. I am the manager here at V Knives in Libby, Montana. I was born and raised here. I am 49 now. I'm the 4th generation in the Kootenai Valley here. I would say I have my finger on the pulse of Libby. As it sits right now, it's a retirement community, and I don't see why young people would really want to move here, because we really have no industry. When I was a kid, we had a sawmill that employed over 1,000 people there, and we had 2 operating mines that employed a couple hundred people at each one, and now all of that's gone.
My name is Sedaris Carlberg and I'm the Lincoln County Treasurer. I have lived in Libby for 21 years. I think people would like to move to Libby because we have a nice small town atmosphere. Everybody knows everybody. We're not so far away from things that we're just destitute.
My name is Erica Hartley and I own Pure North Athletic Club. I've lived in Libby we purchased the club in February of 17, so 4 years. It's for somebody that's looking for outdoor adventure. I know that that's one of the things that I missed from living in Superior and growing up in Superior, very small town, able to get out on the trails and visit the lakes and stuff and be, for the most part, by yourself or with just your family.
The retirees are moving to Libby. Most of them they came through here on vacation and they loved it. Again, the scenery and the outdoor opportunities they have.
We've had a big influx of folks from all over the country, not just, the traditional, everybody's coming here from California. I mean, I've met people from Texas, I've met people from Maine recently, so there's folks coming from all over the place.
Even in today's housing market, it's still less expensive than a lot of places.
If Libby had the ability to spruce things up and update buildings and just make things more inviting, more comfortable, I think that would definitely help increase tourism and possibly new businesses coming in.
So I think there's been a lot of effort recently in the last few years with the reset of the Chamber of Commerce, and some of the business owners have come in and bought businesses, restaurants, motels, and that kind of stuff to really promote that tourism trade. They've partnered up in some different things with the Chamber of Commerce to get that information out there. So there's been a lot of effort made. One of the problems we have is we're only so big.
What could we do to attract more business to town? Well, the Kootenai National Forest grows timber like no place else in the lower 48. And there's logs and wood rotting and fire danger pretty bad in our area, millions of acres. So they're proposing a fiberboard plant that's OSB and particle board plant in our town. The forest wouldn't be set on how much the mill could do. The mill would be set on how much the forest could do, and employ up to 100 to 150 people. That seems like a win-win situation there.
I think Libby has tried a lot of different things to attract tourism, to attract businesses, but I think the biggest thing is that the businesses have to have some kind of a tax incentive or a benefit to move here or try to do an upstart business here. They need a little bit of an incentive, a little bit of a handshake to get here, and then we have the ability. We have fiber here. We have everything that any business could use. We just don't have much of a workforce, which if the right business came here, we would have a better workforce and a younger workforce.
How can Libby get over the mentality that out-of-staters and tourism is bad? I really have no idea how to answer that. I don't think most people see tourism as bad, but they see out-of-state people, and you get the same thing of people move here and then they want to change it so that it's like where they just came from?
Folks move here to change, and then they want to make here like it was there, you know, and you see that all the time with, you know, wanting different laws and different rules and different regulations and different traffic control devices and things, you know. So embrace the change, you know, live the lifestyle, enjoy.
I don't think anybody can really get rid of the stigma of out-of-staters coming in and, you know, not being welcome. I think that people are comfortable with what they know and they don't want to see a lot of change.
I've experienced change. I've experienced tourism. I've experienced people coming here and retiring. Most of the people that come here and retire are a benefit to the community. They have the funds to buy a four-wheeler. They have the funds to buy the snowmobiles. They have the funds to go skiing. They have the money to go spend money at the lake or go fishing.
Bottom line truth is this. The older generations that live here, I'm part of that now. We don't like change. And quite frankly, we're going to have to die off. And maybe the next generation's going to have to die off. That's hard truth. But those younger ones, the younger generations, the 20-year-olds, I'll say, let's look at that decade. Maybe when they're my age, in my early 70s, they might think in the future the way I'm thinking today. We don't like change. That's one of the mysteries about life.
What would I change about Libby? I think the things that I miss, you know, if I could bring in different food and different opportunities that way, that would be wonderful. If I could just get it where people were just okay with everybody else and just enjoy living in this gorgeous place and not being cranky about it.
Education and communication is what I find is the biggest leading to open-mindedness, kindness, and any community moving forward, and educating people that change isn't bad.
So I can't really think of any singular thing that I would change in Libby. You know, I would like to see some good paying jobs and expanded housing available. You know, a lot of folks are really scrambling right now, even for rentals. But, you know, with those two things is going to come a lot of change. You know, we're going to see an influx of people. We're going to see an influx of traffic. We're going to see an influx of school children, you know, and so there's, you know, those two little simple things, good jobs, place for people to stay. There's going to be a lot of change compounded on top of that with just the trickle down effect of all that, you know.
Roads. I think I'd change the roads first, you know, if I had an endless pot of money. What would I recommend to anyone who wants to move here? Well, have a job. Housing is awful for some reason in Libby. You better have a good down payment.
Try to research the lifestyle here. It's a little different. It's a little bit slower than what they probably are used to. We do things at a different pace, and that's not to say that's just to say that our location is a benefit, but it's also a detriment when it comes to certain things.
Your road being plowed, for instance. You, depending on where you live here, you may not have that luxury. You may have to get out and plow it yourself. You may live up in the Boontoolies, and that's just part of living up here.
If you're not already retired or don't have a steady source of income, I'd say really, really study the job market, okay? What is it you're gonna do when you get here?
They should come in open-minded with a plan that if they don't like it or if they can't deal with it, then they shouldn't risk their life savings on it.
Find a place to live or figure out where you might live or talk to and possible employer on whether they have a place for you to stay while you get something secured. The rental market here and living quarters is really hard to find right at the moment.
I would say don't, unless you have a bunch of money and you're going to start some kind of business to give us jobs. Like I said before, we have no industry, no good jobs for people.
I'm honest with people, is that if you move into Libby as an outsider, expect to be treated as an outsider, keep an open mind, be respectful to people, and you will eventually be accepted. There's a lot of really good people in Libby. There are people that typically want to just hang a flag on you that if you're from out of town, you're not wanted.
Keep on being yourself, keep on, open to people and opening up yourself to it, and get out there and enjoy, because we do have some great restaurants. We do have some great restaurants here. We do have some great experiences here. We do have some amazing people here. So just keep on getting yourself involved in meeting and growing and reaching.
Integrate yourself as best you can and become part of the community. Try to promote the community, and you'll do fine.
If you've got that laid-back mentality and you want to live that lifestyle, it's a great place to raise a family.
For me, it's raising kids. I have 2 high schoolers, and I was able to, it takes a village to raise kids, and now I'm starting to get those family groups and those other parents that, we're raising our kids together, and when they come over to my house, my boys' friends, they're mine. Like, I take them, they're mine, it's my rules, I'm the mom. So that's what I love about it.
So, most of Libby citizens are good, hard-working people. I think the reason that there is a resistance to change and the reason they keep newcomers at an arm's length is because they know what they have here. Majestic mountains, a beautiful river, and a plethora of outdoor activities, along with small town charm. Who would want that to change? The harsh reality is this. The unemployment rate in Libby is 8.5%. However, I'm willing to bet that it's almost 10%. We need to think of businesses that are seasonal and that are tourism driven. The timber industry isn't going to come back like it once was. The proposed Mountain Ore Mine by Hyoh-Wu, they've been talking about that for 30 years, so who even knows if it's going to happen? We need to promote Libby in such a way that it becomes a destination location. Let's embrace the newcomer who comes to visit or even moves here. Let's give them a warm welcome rather than a look of distrust. We need to tap more into that tourism dollar. If we are paralyzed by the fear of change, we can never move forward. Let us use that leverage from the fear of the unknown and take that first step together. And when we do, we might find exactly what we've been looking for, which is becoming the gem of Lincoln County once again.